Hello, I'm Nolan Nichols. Thanks for joining us today. Let's go ahead and start things off with today's top story. Well, it's a line drawn in the sand over border policy. A GOP grilling right now on Capitol Hill as Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson defends President Obama's executive action on immigration. In prepared remarks, Johnson calls the policy to shield up to 5 million undocumented immigration from deportation, quote, common sense. But Homeland Security Committee Chair Michael McCall vows to fight the president's action, calling it unconstitutional and a threat to democracy. We now turn to reporter Tyler Sweden, who has more on this story. Well, this past week, a massive cyber attack occurred, but not at a place you would expect as of late. No, it wasn't at Target, Home Depot, or another retail store. Instead, it was at Sony Pictures. Company secrets, emails, social security numbers were exposed to the world this week, and one of these emails between executives involved Angelina Jolie, which called her a spoiled brat. It turns out Jolie ran into this executive who was on the receiving end of that email at an event. Shown now is the picture of Jolie and Amy Pascal Wednesday at this Hollywood Reporter event. But the crux of the matter here is that Sony is an example of the real threat to any major company here in the United States that this could happen to. Well, we now turn to a story that has just gained national attention, coming off the situation in Ferguson and the grand jury's decision in New York City to not indict the police officer that was involved in what seems to be an unnecessary chokehold death that was captured on a cell phone. People are on the move for a second night in a row in even greater numbers, and the outrage is spreading in other cities all across this country, of course including New York City, where the incident occurred, and in Chicago. As more and more people take to the streets, America is facing tough questions about law and order, about black and white, and about our police and how we want them to do their jobs. We now welcome in reporter CJ Campbell, who is live with us on the campus of Virginia Tech, where some student-led protests have taken place as a result of these events. CJ, can you tell us a little bit about what has taken place there on campus, and what exactly do students think about this? We're going to follow up with this story on the campus of Virginia Tech by speaking live with the Chief of Virginia Tech Police, Rick Force. Mr. Force, I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to talk with us. Based off what is going on nationwide and on campus, do you feel like there is any kind of tension between campus police and students? Well, if you have been to a game in Lane Stadium this year, you may have noticed something different about the game day experience, such as the upbeat and energetic music played before certain plays and during timeouts. But not everybody is on board with this new amplified atmosphere, as there seems to be a difference of opinion between students and alumni. So for the past home game against Boston College, we sent our own reporter Taylor Byrne to see what people have to say about the new stadium music. Well, every Tuesday following the first Monday in November is called Election Day, where citizens that are 18 years or older are given a voice when it comes to voting public representatives into office at local, statewide, and national levels. And even though voter turnout was low in yesterday's midterm elections, it did not take away the importance of this election, as it would dictate which party would have control of the Senate. And around midnight last night, it became clear that the Republicans would gain back control of the Senate and have control of both houses of Congress, which will certainly make for an interesting final 2 years in President Obama's term. With Congress having the lowest approval ratings in history, with a majority Republican Congress and a Democratic president, it seems like they will both have to make compromises and be willing to work with each other if anything productive is able to be done. Last night's election was a big signal that the American people want a change in Washington, as Republicans dominated the night and nearly pulled off a huge upset over Mark Warner in Virginia. But just because most Americans voted Republican doesn't mean that the Republican Party is viewed in a favorable light. In fact, opinion polls numbers show that the favorability rating of the GOP is less than the Democratic Party. So why did Americans vote Republican? To put it simply, Americans wanted change, and the GOP was the next available option. So Americans are giving them a chance to see what they can do. One thing is for sure, depending on how things go for the GOP in Congress, could set up for a huge presidential election for both parties in 2016. Well, that's all for today. Have a great evening, America.